子供の時にね、体ちっちゃかったんでね、それでね、なんとかね、強くなれた。
When Sensei was a child, he was not very strong. He was small, and he thought he'd like to get stronger. In junior high school and high school, he was in the swimming club at school. But when he went to university, because he was small, the university club wouldn't accept him. And so he was kind of at a loss and didn't know what to do. But then the clubs at the university were having membership enrollment, and the karate club was saying, "Oh, please, come in." And when he went to take a look, he found that his body type probably suited this, and they're also using their bodies. So he thought, "Oh, this will probably make me strong," and so he started karate for his health and to become strong.
強くなりたいと思った。自分の体が健康になりたいと思った。
最初の印象は何だったですか？最初は稽古し始めた。
これは皆さん一緒だと思うんだけどね。
When he first started, he was interested in becoming strong, but he found that very soon it was difficult to get the foundation, difficult to keep up with everybody, and he was always wondering, when am I going to quit? When am I going to quit? And kept thinking that, and then he got to be color belt, and then he could move forward and to the side, and then he thought, oh, I could do this.
動けるようになってきた。それまでインタレストじゃなかった。ただ怖さったね。不安とでいろんなものでおろしてた俺。
So he wasn't terribly interested in karate. It was just painful most of the time. So in the beginning, it wasn't more interest. It was more fear than anything.
When you realize that karate was going to be your life.
いつ空手が人生になるかって思いましたかって。
私の人生、これは研修生に入った時。
When you became an instructor trainee.
Who were the teachers where you started in karate in those early days?
初め頃の先生から。
マスター中山。
Going back to the training, how was the training at the instructors training camp? How different was of the regular training?
結局ね、研修ってのは結局将来
When you became an instructor trainee, it wasn't just to become strong, it was how effectively can you communicate to your students. So they were doing things, teaching how to communicate and preparing them to become instructors, standing up before people and instructing.
その道場ではね、それやれつけやれけろ。
In regular training, it was, punch, kick, become strong. And of course, that's also instructor training, but that's not everything. It's how to teach is the most important thing.
So now, make sure your hand no position about the shoulder, distance about the shoulder, Then, not the finger touching. Then we go to this stance, hanojidachi, about the shoulder, about the waist. One. Now, not the stomach level, face level. Face level. はい、やめ。私ね、本当はもともと来るの嫌だった。はっきり非常に。
Sensei, when he was first told, didn't want to go. Nakayama Sensei said you have to go to America, and he did not want to go. When Sensei was younger, English was not allowed to be spoken during the war, and when he was at the age where he could most learn that language, it was not allowed. And after that, it got into his head, I can't speak English, I don't speak English. He didn't have a foundation for English, and he kind of put that aside in his life. It was not something for him. And then he was told to go, and so he was very worried. And he told Nakayama Sensei that he was worried about going. And he said, just communicate your character, your inside, sincerely. If you want to say no, say no. Don't just go with your strength and go, no, that's not it, no. just communicate sincerely how you feel. And so he took some comfort in those words, and he came to America. And when he taught, since his words is he tried to make skinship with his students. So instead of just using words, he used his physical contact to teach.
I started in 1965. When I entered the university, it was the first time that I started training in karate. I found my teacher, I found my style, and the art of karate. And when I was living in my province, I never had the opportunity to train in karate. So at the university was the first time that I found the art of karate. Master Iwata was my teacher at the university. He was the chief instructor of the Shotokai, and at the same time he was the general director for the Japan Karate Federation. Training at the university, it was very hard. I really wanted to quit because I was scared. The training was very hard. Our school was in an area in Tokyo where actually we only have one Shito-ryu dojo there. Master Iwata dojo was the only one among many other Shotokan. Pretty much all the dojos were Shotokan. So it was very hard. We were challenged in many ways. We were the only Shito-ryu among the whole school, and it was tough. The senpais, they really push us very hard, so we could really perform and we could face the challenge. It was not only inside, even outside of the university. When we made the senpais, they always push us in every single aspect of karate. Kihon, karate, and it was very tough. They were very tough times. We were testing all the time. We were tested by the senpais, and there was no really big fights between the school, but there were tough challenges. Every day we had blood in the training, not only because of the kumite, but also because of the makiwara. So the only reason, the first reason why I started karate, especially during the first year, I wanted to be strong, I wanted to fight. That's the main reason why I started. But later on, through training, after 4 years of training in university, my mentality completely changed. Fighting was not the main reason why I was doing karate. It was something else for me. I changed my mentality. I matured as a man. And it was at the end of my 4 years in the university when the university named me as a director, as a coach. So my goals changed. I understood that it was a time to actually teach other people, to share, but not just to share the fighting aspect of it. The 5 facultades de defensas. This is the 5 principles of defense found in Shito-ryu.
Primero, Rakka.
The first is Rakka.
Rakka, Hangeki. Hangeki. Ryusui.
Ryushi. Ryushi.
Oh, I started when I was age 7 in my backyard for the fact that I'm a 4th generation martial artist. My father was my first teacher, and trained with him up until I was 17 years old. And because at that point in time, when you talk back to your dad, and in the old culture is, oh, you talk back, you can leave. So I ended up having to move to YMCA, put myself to high school, and I ended up training with his teacher, which was Rodney Hu, who was a very well-known Goju Sensei back in the early 60s and 70s, and he was on one of the first United States teams of the World Championships. I trained with Rodney Sensei about 11, 12 years, and then I ended up moving on to another sensei out of Japan. His name was Akio Takahashi. He was all Japan champion, and trying to get him to the United States to do various seminars here was very difficult. So I asked some of the top level instructors and senseis here in the United States, which was Sensei Yamazaki, Sensei Ajari, Damura Sensei, and I asked them, who is one of the top Goju people in the world that you can recommend me to, because I wanted to train with the best. Nothing better than to be associated with people who give you information from the past and you have this deep well. And so they all said Kenzo Uchagi Sensei, who was at the time 9th Dan JKF, a former JKF president, and he was in Osaka, Japan. But his son, Takechi Uchagi, is 7th Dan JKF. His Pan American headquarters were in Canada. So I contacted Takechi Uchagi Sensei and told him that I was very interested in joining the organization because of the association of being able to fly back and forth to Canada, which was very much closer than going to Japan. And so working with him and his father and the Class A examiners who flew in from Japan, I was able to meet with them and train with them and really develop just a wonderful relationship and just a vast wealth of knowledge that now has taken me to where I'm at now. And so being a 4th generation martial artist, my sons, Adam and Gino, they're 10 years apart, but they both ended up on Team USA. Gino for 5 years and Adam for 7 years on the United States national team, representing the United States around the world in international competition. And now I have my grandsons, and they're the 6th generation martial artists. So they are 2, 4, and 6. It's I've got Dylan, the oldest, and Miles and Gavin, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They come into my dojo and they train, and to see my sons and my grandsons carrying on this line of generation of martial artists is something that's very hard to explain, to see that, but it does my heart very well to see my family involved in it. Yoi! Made! Kata represents mind, body, and spirit. And all the student has to be able to demonstrate total focus and control, breathing, full strength of body tension,